Good evening. I'd like to call this school committee meeting on May 12th, 2026 to order. We could stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is I make a motion to move into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to a complaint against public officers, specifically two open meeting law complaints. Purpose 1, M.G.L, C30A, 21A1, and Purpose 7, M.G.L, C30A, Section 21A7, to comply with or act under the authority of any general law or special law or federal grant and aid requirements, specifically in accordance with the open meeting law, Mass General Law C30A, Sections 22F and 22G, for the purpose of conducting a review of the following executive session minutes: January 29th, 2026, February 10th, 2026, and March 5th, 2026. Having any discussions in open session may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position. It is anticipated that the board will return to open session.
I'm going to second that.
Okay, so a roll call vote. Chris?
Lumpen, yes.
Augusta, yes. Oh, yes. Let's keep yes.
Susie,
And Maderas, yes. Okay, so. Yeah. Okay, I'd like to reconvene the school committee meeting of May 10th, or May 12th, 2026. Coming back from the executive session. Okay, so the first, I would like to read the recording statement then. This meeting of the Falmouth School Committee is being recorded in accordance with Massachusetts open meeting law. Anyone who wishes to make an audio or video recording of this meeting must first notify the chair. Please raise your hand and make the presence known if you intend to record the meeting. Okay, this does not include parents whose kids might be doing something tonight. You can walk right up here and record away. So, okay, please, all right. So we will begin with a presentation of the Mullen Hall highlights, which always make us happy to hear from the kids.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, we are very happy that you're all here at Mullen Hall School. I'm Shannon Carlson, the proud principal of this amazing place, and we are very excited today to share with you some highlights from our clippers. Now, I'm going to share my screen, so just a moment, please. Here are our highlights that we would like to share with you at our school committee meeting this evening. To begin with, I wanted to tell you our theme for this evening, and it is focused on the E in Clipper. The E in Clipper stands for effective communication. So if you read it right there, I can speak and or write easily understood language that is both direct and clear. Well, this evening, we're going to be sharing from our student-driven written language, our teacher-driven or connected directly to our curriculum, as well as our whole school-wide writing from our students as well. And I'm going to share with you right now an example of our student-driven communication. Now, Ms. Teaticket is a first grade teacher, and in her reading group, we had 3 students who were reading a book about a little library. And they decided to write me a persuasive letter explaining why we should have a little library returned to our outdoor learning space. So if you wouldn't mind directing your attention to the screen, I'd like to share with you what they had to say.
Dear Miss Carlson, may we have our little library back,
They are cool. Thank you so much, Zoe, Nina, and Josiah. Dear Miss Carlson, it was written, this note was written on the third month, which is March, the fourth day, and the 26th year, which is 2026, or was it today? We think little letters will help others would want to read and learn. You do not need a library card to get books. Everyone can get books. It will make them really happier and stronger. We can share books that we love. Science is heart.
Thank you, Nina. May I have a round of applause, please? So we truly want to make sure that when our students use their voice and they share their reasoning and be effective communicators, that communication is honored and that there is a product and reward at the end. And so we will be celebrating that new little library at a ribbon cutting ceremony a little bit later on before the end of the school year. Now, our next highlight today is about teacher-driven communication, connected directly to our ELA curriculum. I am very proud to introduce Lisa Lumbrakis, one of our fourth grade teachers, and the fourth grade team did an incredible job implementing a unit of study all about poetry. Please.
Thanks for having us here in our Young Poets. And our first module in our ELA curriculum this year in grade 4 was on poets and their inspiration. And students learned about different famous poets and what inspired them. And then they took that knowledge, synthesized it into write their own original poetry, in which they really had to think about a topic that was meaningful to them. And they practiced a speech where they had to effectively communicate what their inspiration was and how it was evident in their home. And then they also created images to showcase their inspiration, one digital and one with watercolor. And they needed to effectively communicate how do these images portray their inspiration. And I think when you look through the pictures, you can see on their faces, they were so proud of their work that our class particularly hosted a poetry party so that they could showcase their work in an authentic and meaningful way to reach a wider audience. And we invited some administrators and some staff, and it was really lovely to be able to share this with a broader audience. So we have some wonderful fourth grade poets that are here tonight to share their poetry with you. Rebecca, just invite them up.
Yes, okay. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment so that we can share our students who have joined us this evening.
right. Okay, Clippers, come on up with your polos. Form a nice little line right here. One more. Perfect, perfect. You're first. Come on up here. You can stand right here and you can talk just as if you were talking to Dr. Dora, okay? Go for it.
Wonder by Cecilia Wolf. Fairies fluttering elf skirts. We never know if they could be real. No, we'll never know. They may be hiding underneath the tough grassy patched ground where we don't see. We'll never know because they keep their secret high up, up, up where humans can't reach. We'll never know until maybe one day it will drop down, down, down.
I'll invite parents again because their backs are to you, please, and come closer.
Outside by William Hindle Spitzer. Fresh air, the breeze, the tree I can near, the bright morning sun, in the woods, a pond. I see all of that and want all of that. But I want one more thing. Nature. I run with my dog, Blue, as the bright colors and his energetic eyes illuminate. Coda walks around. He notices the pond. Let's swim. One swim later, I lay on the grass as two wonderful dogs lift me. My house is waiting, saying, let's try inside, walk through my door. What should I do? Stay outside in the afternoon sun.
Lifeless by Clara. I see the lifeless tree on the gray hill. I see the branches flowing like a river, begging for light. The wolf howls, the mouse squeaks as the earth goes to sleep. Dog versus Cat by Henry David Sigourney. A dog sits, clogged with ideas. A cat lurks on a mat. When they meet, crash! The dog barks as loud as a sun. The cat puffs as tall as a mountain. The royale has begun. Clash, 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 flash, flash, flash.
Trees, trees, their homes for bees. Yes, their homes for bees. They can stand in the rain and they don't complain. They can grow so high that they touch the sky. They're as hard as a rock so you can't knock them down. They come in so many colors like green and brown. Trees, trees, their homes for bees and squirrels. Stuffy is always there for you and waiting for you until you go to bed. Then it comforts you and helps you fall asleep. When you're scared or alone or sad, just give it a little squeeze. They're as soft as a blanket and as squishy as a marshmallow or a pillow. So if you're embarrassed that you still sleep with stuffies, just know you're definitely not alone and you definitely hopefully want to grow them.
I want to thank all of our poets for joining us this evening, but I also want to not only highlight our amazing staff at Mullen Hall who are teaching them every day, but their families too who came here this evening and their support and their partnership. So please, a round of applause. Wish me luck, I'm sharing my screen again. Our last section of this evening's presentation highlighting Mullen Hall as effective communicators is school-wide. Now, our equity team, as well with Ms. Joe, our librarian, and Ms. Gazzotti, our teacher of DLCS, were very supportive in regards to this school-wide writing invitation. Every student wrote me a letter sharing why they belong, but also talking about what they would like to do to make Mullen Hall even better. So as you can see at my little pie chart here, we highlighted different themes that we saw, that we noticed from these conversations and in these letters. There were some highlights in terms of our school plan, our school-wide expectations. They were very interested in the playground. They were interested in cafeteria ideas, sports teams, welcome ideas, animals were a hot topic, and as well as some personal thoughts and reflections. So I wanted to share with you just a few for a taste of what the students had to share and say. I'm not entirely sure why it's not advancing. Give me a moment, please. Here we are.
Dear Miss Carlson, I'm writing to you because I wanted to change something and now is my chance. I think that we should have greeting signs at the door for when students walk in so the students feel welcomed at school. For instance, one of the signs could say, "Your smile makes me smile," or "You are welcome." If this could happen, then that would be great. Sincerely, Olivia.
Here's Pedro. He's talking about possible basketball team.
Dear Mr. Carson, what's a basketball team and you Pedro.
Alicia really likes our artwork.
Dear Mrs. Carlson, I like the artwork here. We should get more. I love Hall.
Here's Everest. He's going to talk about classroom swaps.
Dear Miss Carlson, I think we should do more classroom swaps because we can learn more about what other classes do.
Jane has some really good ideas about hallway reminders.
Dear Miss Carlson, I would add more hallway and stairway plan reminders, like signs or something, because some students are forgetting. Thank you, Jane.
No, me too. Owen has an idea for a compliment box.
Dear Miss Carlson, I would make a compliment book. If you get 5 compliments, you get a reward by Owen.
Here's Maggie. She's thinking about a welcome sign.
Dear Miss Carson, I think that Mullen Hall should have a poster that says everyone is belong here from Maggie Flower.
And finally, Maddie has some thoughts about a welcome program for new students, as well as an idea for a mascot.
Dear Miss Carlson, I wish that we had more half days on different days of the week because when they are on Tuesdays, I can only hang out with my friends for an hour. But if they were on different days, we could hang out for longer. And I feel like that could make the school a little better. Another idea I have is for a welcome program. For the new students that come in the middle of the year, we find a nice kid in the class they are going in, and they have a buddy to hang out with so they don't feel lonely or like they don't belong. Or for new kids that haven't been to the school before. Another idea I have is for a mascot to come on half days and at community meetings so they know that we have a mascot and it could interact with the students.
If you could please make this happen, I would be very thankful. From Maddie.
Thank you very much for sharing in our Again, I really want this evening to highlight our staff. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us this evening. Thank you all of our students and their families, as well as all of you for sharing in our highlights from Mullen Hall.
Thank you. The kids are always the best presentation. Even if they mess up, they're great. Okay. Next on the agenda is our student advisory, but Bella is playing an away game, so she couldn't make it tonight to give the student advisory. Okay. The next item on the agenda will be public comment. Public comment will be limited to 20 minutes. Members of the public are welcome to speak during public comment. Comments will be limited to 2 minutes in length. Due to the open meeting law, the committee cannot respond to or act on public comment. Additional comments and feedback can be submitted by email to schoolcommittee@falmouth.k12.ma.us. Okay, so on the list, we have Megan Zatoli, please.
Hello, Megan Zatoli, Carriage Shop Road. I want to express my disappointment with the process surrounding the proposed grade reconfiguration. From the community's perspective, this feels rushed and lacking meaningful engagement. Only 2 of the 3 promised public forums were held, and many parents and community members feel their emails, questions, and concerns have been disregarded rather than genuinely considered. In addition, no community survey has been conducted to formally gather input from families and residents about a decision that will significantly impact students and schools. Most concerning is that the voices of families with children entering kindergarten, the students will be most directly affected by this reconfiguration, do not appear to have been adequately included in this decision-making process. A change of this magnitude should reflect collaboration, transparency, and trust between the district and the community. Right now, many families feel unheard, and I urge the committee to slow the process down to fully ensure that any decision made is truly in the best interest of the students, the families, and the broader community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Okay. Next item on the agenda will be an update by the superintendent.
All right, thank you. So my Year of the Clipper announcements today. The first one is fantastic news. We have 2 students who participated in the National Council Teachers of English Promising Young Writer Contest, recognized with the highest honors. I'm proud to announce Grace Bennett and Tess Ledwell earned the highest distinguished, first class, in this year's contest. The purpose of this contest is to stimulate and recognize the writing talents of 8th grade students and to emphasize the importance of writing skills. This year, schools nominated 200 students to participate from 30 different states, Puerto Rico, South Africa, and South Korea. So congratulations to Grace and to Tess and to our English teachers. It is quite an honor that 2 of the students selected with high honors came from Falmouth Public Schools. Many of you know I began the Certified Medical Assisting Program a year ago. Senior Victoria Valho was part of the first cohort, and as a senior this year has completed the program, including her internship in the next couple weeks, and she is being hired as a medical assisting physician with the Cape Cod Community Health Center. Many of you will remember that that's where we started. When we started the medical assisting program, we partnered with the Cape Cod Community Health Center. And then just today, I got additional information that a second student, Kendra Nugent, has passed her exam and will complete her internship in a couple weeks and has also been offered a position with the Cape Cod Community Health Center. This is extremely exciting news. This is exactly what we were hoping for when we started the program, and we now have 2 students offered positions after going through the program. There's another student that's passed the medical assisting program, and a couple more that will be taking their exam, I believe, on Friday. So we're very hopeful. This is all about interest and success. It's a powerful combination for our Clippers. And talking about quick success, our robotics team joined FIRST recognition. FIRST is for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. So they joined FIRST as competitors just 1 year ago, and then you approved their trip to Texas for the Worlds, and finished 14th in the Worlds in just 2 years. That is absolutely amazing. Amazing skill and amazing teamwork. So just 3 examples I'm sharing this time about the Clipper experience, opportunity, and excellence in Falmouth Public Schools. We also live in an amazing community and that supports our schools, and I just want to give a shout out for the Teaticket Playground Committee that will be up next. So looking forward to hearing their presentation.
Thank you for the update. Kids are always the best thing to hear about, always, always. Thank you, Ray. The next item on the agenda will be a presentation from the Teaticket Playground Committee, and I just wanted to say it's the work they did, but it's in our community that, I mean, I think back years ago when the Mullen Hall playground was put together by the community, and we have FEF, we have BITS, we have the Falmouth Road Race. I don't really like to name names in case I miss anybody, but our community is just bursting with people who help the kids. And under the leadership of this committee, which we're going to hear from, we'll see what's going on now. Okay? Thank you. Mr. Kapulka, do you have a thing to queue up?
I do, yes.
You do, okay.
I'll get to some people involved tonight. Well, thank you for having us. I've been your business today, and tonight, Terry and Chris's last meeting. Thank you. And special thanks to my former French teacher, even though she can't believe she was, my teacher. Thank you for all your service. I appreciate you guys' support with this project especially as well, so I wanted to say that prior.
I'm still not going to change your grade, though.
I took French 1 for 3 years. It's not her fault. I'm going to share my screen. Share this like one. Then we'll jump.
So while he's doing that, everybody, you should have a picture in front of you. This is what the final proposal that we chose, to a tune of $398,000. We added the seating area with the canopy, which is nice. That we spoke to a lot of parents, talked to other people on the playgrounds, and that was one thing parents said. The benches are great, but we really like a table for our coffee, for home work, for McDonald's, whatever it might be. So the large version is on Dominique's hand. So. Well, we'll have everything up on the.
Sorry about that.
That's right, I'll put it here for you, but I know you guys are pressed for time, so I'm gonna just start, if that's okay. On our first slide, which I'm sure Ryan will get up quick, just so you know a little bit of history, we were the first ADA playground on the Cape. The original playground was built 2021 with the help of George Spivey, and back then it was called the Handicap Commission, they don't call it that now. Basically, the town had already gotten a CPC grant, and then the town kicked in $90,000, and originally the site was going to be Mullen Hall. But at the time, there were other things going on, and the principal said, I'm not sure that we can take this project on, because the kicker was you had to get your own volunteers. So it took 3 weekends and 150 volunteers, and at the time, Michael Arth was our principal, and he said, what do you think? And we all, the staff said, we're in. So we spent 3 weekends putting the playground together. Back in those days, you could volunteer and put it together without warranty issues, liability. As you know, you can't do that anymore.
What year was it?
That was 2021, 20 year, sorry, 2021,
Why can't I say
2000. 2000 was a 2000 year, 2001. We installed it in October, September, October it was installed. It was completed in 2000. It served us well, 25 years. We had rubber tiles, which were great, but we've got better products now, which is even better. So we have, unfortunately, we had to deem it unsafe. The DPW came in, we had an inspector. We closed it immediately. The DPW was so helpful. They came in, removed it, because even though we had fencing, people would still get on the playground, on the weekends, etc. So at that point, we had missed the CPC funding and decided, you know, we can't go another year. This isn't going to work. It was very hard on the staff as well as the kids this year. So we started fundraising. I think that's on the next slide.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take over.
Jeffrey, sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, the mission of this, this project and, starting this committee was really to get this project done as fast as possible so the kids have a space to play. And so, October, playground is deemed unsafe, and then end of December, that's when the 501c was created, and then January 14th was the day that letters were sent out. Today we're 118 days in. Dominique's been a huge help with the Facebook, the social media page, really getting the word out about this project. And then we also had Julie Duffany created the website, for the playground. Super helpful just to have so many community members be, and staff coming together for this project to really get this going, get it off the ground, and get to where we are today.
And I'm sorry, this is Jeff Rose, former Teaticket graduate, owns his own business, and was our first big donor. Yeah. So you can follow along with the slides, and you won't be rude if you're looking at me, I understand that. So. All right, so we're on slide, please. Next slide.
So, I'll introduce you.
I'm sorry.
But just so
I can. So I'm Dominique Kirk. I'm the treasurer. Carrie Shanahan, who is the secretary. Jeff Rose, who is our
member at large.
Stephen Popoka, our president. We also have Julie Duffany, member at large. Stacy Boudreau, member at large, and Erin Crapo, member at large. All right. So how we got here today on day 118. We decided that we were going to apply for any grant that could be applicable to us at any given time. It didn't matter. $400,000 is a really big number to swallow when you're sitting at zero. So when we said $400,000, we knew that it wasn't going to be the Stop and Shop donation that was going to give us $20, or it wasn't going to be, $250. We needed to go for the bigger picture and the small stuff. We weren't saying no to anything. We hosted a lot of community events. So if there was a place that would have us, then we were gonna go. So we did car washes, gym games, bingo, restaurant nights, raffles. Again, if somebody said that they would have us, we were gonna be there. We had a lot of businesses step up. You guys can actually see your coasters. This is one of our favorites, I think. We're in 27 different restaurants here in town. So all the businesses, tough winter, cold, winter's just a tough time in general. We said, how can we get there and how can you guys all be meeting as a committee and look at your coaster and say, oh, the playground. We knew that the playground needed to be at every single person, like on the top of their brain. If it wasn't, then we weren't going to keep the money flowing in, so we had to do it. We had a lot of alumni support, so people are really proud to run the halls of Teaticket. And it goes as much as certain foundation people were coming in and they're raising their hands at anything that we would and be like, I used to run the halls of Teaticket. So it was really nice to see that, especially I'm not from Falmouth, so I don't know all of those things, but people coming out of the woodwork to share their experiences and talk about Teaticket was really magical. And then volunteers, okay? There was so much heart and soul that was poured behind this project so far, and I'm also talking like it's done. It's not done, but we've made a good portion, good headway. But so many people came out and they just helped and they were like, you need something? Here, I have an idea. Like we would take it. So I think the number one thing that got us to where we are is that we said yes to absolutely every single thing and immediately implemented the next day. There were some times that we were texting at 6 a.m. There were some times that we were up until midnight doing whatever we needed to do to get it done. And no idea was too wild because we wanted a playground as fast as humanly possible. So we did multiple radio ads. Turns out we can do that sort of stuff. We went on presentations like this. We did a TV segment and we've had multiple newspaper articles. Again, if they'll have us, well, we'll be there.
So, how much have we raised? Well, we are at $354,695.54, and we're.
Which, sorry,
Yeah.
there is an additional 4,000. Again, it climbs every day, so.
Perfect.
It's not.
Yes, so we're still, we're still looking to, raise more money. We have 306 individual donors. We've gotten 3 grants.
This is a good one. Sorry.
We got 3 grants accepted so far. We've done 4.
Sorry.
Four grants. Oh,
Change
perfect.
it.
4 in memory for loved ones, people, raising money for a loved one. We've hosted 11 events and 189 Facebook posts. Like I said before, the social media aspect of things has been a huge, just getting the word out. Powerful tool social media can be. And at the end of the day, we've done this in 118 days. And when I joined on the committee early on and donated, it was a very far, $400,000 is a lot of money, and to start there and be here almost 4 months later is just really incredible, and it's really a testament of our community as a whole. Super proud to be a part of this community and be a part of this project as a community member, and it's really just a full circle moment for me, being at Teaticket many moons ago, and here I am being able to give back to the community that's given so much to me. So.
Well, and mind you, when Jeffrey made his large donation, we didn't have anything at that time.
Right.
So it was a belief in what this project meant. So the first few people that kind of went out there and put their name on the line, that was huge for us because, again, you stand anywhere and you're like, I'm raising $400,000. They're like, okay, little girl, go. Like, you're not going to do that. I was like, well, don't tell me, no.
But he was in the snow, making a video,
Yes.
we were all standing out in the snow in the rain, making videos, and, there's a lot more donors that you don't see, because we had a raffle, we raised $12,000 in a raffle. Many of you were at that event and bought raffle tickets, so we can't even count the number of people that have donated in that way too, so.
Definitely over 500, I would say,
Oh, yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
And this
And then
page
behind you,
here,
behind Sandy, you can see, this is an interesting slide, I don't know if you can see it, but there's different levels.
yeah, so the Tiger Friend, that's everybody who donated $250. The Mara Vista Friend was $500. The Anchor Friend was $1,000. The Compass Friend was $2,500. Clipper Friend, $5,000. Teaticket Friend, $10,000. And Legacy Builder is $25,000 and up. So a lot of people really came together, and these are just like, the bigger ones. But there were days that we would run, March 17th, we just asked everybody to donate $17. We had well over 100 people who gave multiple times, but just donated $17. Again, like when we say that there was no donation too small, somebody once threw 27 cents at me, and we put that in our bank account.
Okay, so on slide 6, this talks a little bit about the new playground, which you have a picture in front of you. So the committee, and actually, just so you know, the students were part of this. So when we first started the process, we had to have some kind of design to just share with people so we could explain what we were trying to raise money for. It wasn't a sandbox, that it was a big deal. So we asked the kids and we asked the staff, what are you missing the most? Monkey bars, we want slides, we want a tall slide. And then we had a couple of different ideas, and when we shared them with the kids, they all loved the ship. And so obviously the Clipper ship was the way we went. We made some changes to the original design, but we wanted to make sure we had the same, if not better than what we had in the past. So there are 3 slides on here, several sets of monkey bars. As you know, we have 29 ASD children in our building, so we want to make sure that we can accommodate all of those children as well as all the kids in the community. So there are ramps here, so you can get onto the ship. They have 25 different panels. A panel might be a braille panel. It might be a sensory panel, which is a musical instrument, chimes, drums. We wanted things that would spin and turn. There's a bridge on here that the wheelchair can go up to, and then there's parallel play. So a child can be in a chair, and a peer can be next to that child, both playing on that same piece of equipment. That was important to us. And as you know, our numbers are increasing. Everybody's numbers are increasing in the special ed population, and we need to be able to service all the kids in this town. So that was part of the design for this ship.
Carrie, could you explain that tier thing again?
Where,
The two kids can be together?
yes, so there's actually, I can share the, I'm gonna be able to share a picture of it. Yeah, so that's a separate bridge, and there's there's a steering wheel and another piece of equipment here. So a wheelchair can come all the way up here, and the kids can play together.
Wow.
There are 52 pieces of equipment that are on the ground. So if a child didn't want to climb or go up that area, they can stay on that ground surface and still have play. And the rubber surface is huge, so we had rubber tiles, which were recycled airplane tires, right? And we had beads that got underneath them, so there were a lot of problems with that, and glue, so anyway, this is a new pour-in-place product, so what will happen is, we're gonna pour a slab, it's gonna be installed on the slab, and then they will pour the rubber on top, which will be safer and easier, and it won't crack, you'll have a better warranty. But we picked blue for the ocean, and sand, obviously sand color for the ships, so that was part of the theme as well. And that was, originally we had an orange color, and the kids said, why are we doing sand in the ocean? So, great, whatever you guys said.
And
So-
maroon for our
And we changed the
school
colors to maroon, so originally the design looked a little bit like this, it was green, but we made some changes with the kids' help and the staff, because Stacy's out there for recess duty every day. She knows what they're missing, and it causes problems when there's nothing to play.
All right, so one thing about this is, if you notice in our name, we're not just the Teaticket playground, we're the Teaticket community playground. And the reason being is because, especially if you've had young children and you're bored, you go to multiple different playgrounds. You don't just go to one, or just don't go to the one that your kids play on every single day at recess. So we know that there are right now 4 elementary schools in our district. There's preschoolers, all the things, those are all the young ones that are gonna be coming and using this. Like Carrie said, special education, near and dear to my heart, but it's on the rise. And I actually went back and watched your video to see the real numbers. And in 2022, we were at 20.1% special education, and now we're at in 2026, we're at 24.9. We know that's not just us, but that means that our surrounding communities as well can use different aspects of this. Something that we have at Teaticket, and the playground was designed for, is children with autism, developmental delays, sensory hearing, sensory vision, neurological, emotional, specific learning disabilities, and different health issues. So that's the ones that we house here right at Teaticket, but we also know that that goes broader to other things. So especially children with autism, they use a lot of sensory for regulating their body, regulating their nervous system. Something that I do truly believe that they miss every single day, because the playground is the extension of a classroom. It's easy for them to go and look for those sensory issues from jumping, from crashing into things, the musical elements, just touching different things, running, like all of those things are really important, and we wanted to make sure that we could deliver that at all times, not just during school hours. So something that we thought of, and it was one of the things that we went back to the design people, we really wanted to have that outdoor seating, because the community can use this now as free birthday parties. I don't know about you, but cost of living is not that fun around here. So who can spend $500 on, something that kids can just go outside and go play and have a playground, especially a brand new one. So we really looked at this project and just said, well, life gave us lemons, we should just make lemonade. So we tried our absolute hardest to make it as the best that we absolutely could for every student, not just for certain students. I think that's it. Questions?
Anybody have any? Yes, Katrina.
So you have how much left for this? Just about 30,000. Are you doing more events?
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that one. Yes, we are. Actually, if you guys are free and you want to come and hang out this Saturday at the Daily Brew from 6 to 9, we will have a playground jam session. So there's a bunch of different artists that have volunteered their time. The tickets are $25, but 100% of the proceeds from ticket sales go to us. So if you can come and make it, it'll be a lot of fun. And then, I don't know exactly what's left. We'll cross
We do
that
have
bridge.
some grants that we're waiting to hear back from, and we're hopeful on some of that information.
Yeah, amazing.
So, thanks.
Great. Margaret?
Thank you. Just a financial question. Good job, all of you, but this is more towards Paul, if I could. What happened to a CPC grant that we discussed for this project?
The application opened up in April.
Yeah.
And their decision is in August. and then it gets voted on in November. So it's still there, and if we're gonna proceed forward, given that they're really right at that edge, so we'll proceed forward, and then we'll, cancel the application at some point.
Whose idea was this?
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Well, I guess the firework committee wants to do it now, which is great.
Want to do this?
And the cast.
Absolutely brilliant, A plus,
And the
like,
cast.
It was my idea, Julie definitely created it.
okay.
But they're big in Florida.
Really?
They're big.
Yeah.
Other places.
In Germany, they call these beer deckels.
We can't call it
Yeah,
that.
In some people's houses, they have stacks like
Oh,
this, you don't
interesting.
collect in this. Okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to comment yet, wasn't my turn, go ahead.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Wow, I have dabbled in grant writing, and especially in this climate, I know that a $10,000 gift is huge. It's more along the lines of $2,500 to $5,000, so the fact that you got these monstrous grants.
Phone one, thanks to you guys, because it was the Falmouth Road Race, the 50,000, so that really was helpful.
So actually, those are two questions, if I can ask through you for Paul. So you had the Falmouth Road Race on your list as far as a donor that was, what'd you say, 20?
$50.
50, or?
It was 25,000 and up, just the Legacy Builder is the highest. So both of those donors gave more than.
So are we, so through the schools from the Falmouth Road Race, are we gifting $50,000? Is that for the project, or?
So the Falmouth Road Race, each year will give a certain amount to the school system. And so we put different projects forward to the Falmouth Road Race. This year, the only one I put forward was the Teaticket playground. They've committed $50,000, and there could possibly be some potential more. So they've been watching things and whatever. But so that's usually how each year. It used to be twice a year. Now they accept it once a year. This is actually out of cycle. But they were so excited about wanting to be a part of this that out of cycle, they've committed the $50,000. So, yes,
great.
That goes to the August.
They did come and paint the thermometer. So we have a thermometer on the street. So if you drive by, anybody who did 1,000 or more, they're on the thermometer. So
We thought of it like NASCAR. So you know how like NASCAR, if you're driving around looking at the cars, they have all their sponsors on it. So we said, well, we should do that instead of like lawn signs that cost money or different things. So instead, if you drive by and you see it, everybody who gave $1,000 or more, their business, their name, in memory of, whatever, however they did their donation, it's up there.
That's amazing. Just one other quick question. I think I don't know if it was the last school committee meeting or the one before that, there was an announcement about Representative Vieira earmarking some money for the project. Is that still in the works?
So the House did vote money, but now it has to go through the Senate. And then it has to go through. So there's a process when you earmark the money. So yes, 50,000 was earmarked through that process. The Senate has to vote on it. And I believe their budget week is this week or next week. And then it has to, the final, whatever works out, then Governor Healy would sign off on. We usually don't know that until July. But I think if it passes the House and the Senate, it's likely that it's gonna go all the way through. So we're watching that as well.
Thank you.
Susan?
So if that were to happen, you can get started this summer, right? What's the lead time for construction?
ASAP.
Yeah.
We hope to have it finished by August 14th.
We're confident that that we're gonna get there, and that's what Paul was kind of indicating. We're moving forward as though we have the funds, because we're fairly confident it's all gonna come in.
Nice job, everyone.
Yes. It really is.
We'll be inviting you to the dedication the first week of school.
Awesome.
There'll be a dedication.
No, just great job. It's great to see community members kind of step up and take charge. So.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I just like to add, you're next, I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. I made a fool of myself with the beer deckle comment.
We have extras, Terry.
I just want to say that it's really a testament to the people seated to my left and behind me and the people that aren't here on this committee that organized it and got this going. And it's really, as you mentioned, community and the enormity of it, you know, the connections that this school has had with people and the individuals of our staff that have made these connections is really what is the catalyst for all this. And it goes right up until the $1.27 donation, right up until our biggest donation, which we missed not to mention, is that the Lyndon Paul Russo Charitable Foundation granted us $150,000. And that is a direct connection to Teaticket, because two of the trustees of the organization went to Teaticket. One of the other trustees, Mr. LaRusso's grandkids, went to Teaticket. And it's really a testament to the hard work and connection that they have made over the years, you know, as a community school and a community. It's amazing. I mean, the enormity of it is just, I mean, the fact that I signed the 501c3 letter on December 31st, 2025, and we're sitting here, you know, just shy of $30,000. It's amazing. And it's all these guys. And thank you for your support and having us here tonight.
Yeah, no, thank you, because you guys have been supportive, and it does mean a lot to us, because without your support, we can't really build on town property. So
Maybe we'll see you on Saturday night.
Yes, thank you so much.
Nothing can follow that after, I'll tell you. Okay. The next item on the agenda is to discuss and possibly act on the Lawrence School grade configuration. Well, we have gotten communication from the MSBA that a decision deadline, they would have liked to have had a decision deadline that we didn't, because we didn't have enough input at the time. So now we will work with them we're still in the eligibility period. After a few months, then we'll be in the feasibility period. And MSBA offers data, they help you collect data. They do not advise you how to vote, the configuration. But to me, it's a great opportunity because we were thinking about feasibility studies for a lot of different things that we do. We don't have to pay for this. We get unbiased information handed to us, working along with them. So we could vote tonight, but we might have to vote again and change it if they come up with some data that we hadn't thought of. I mean, it's their expertise, and they love, they said it so many times, to work in collaboration with towns. So they are welcoming the opportunity for this. So somebody could make a motion for a certain configuration. I can give my opinion because I'm leaving and I don't care what you do. Sue me, but I'll be gone. That why not take this opportunity to work with them and not do any votes tonight? Okay, but so I don't know if I would make a motion yet, because, no, okay. We would start with comments from this side.
I follow your lead, Terry, on it. I don't think that I don't want to get ahead of MSBA. And I, even more than that, don't want to make a decision and then have our community hear it and then get new information and then might need to make a different decision, because that's a terrible place for families to be in, where they think that they know what's going to happen and then we pull the carpet out. So I'm inclined to not make any motions.
Yes, I would definitely be in favor of deferring a vote until feasibility study is done and more information is gathered.
Again, on the feasibility study, give us more information.
I agree, and as we heard from our public comment, we still need to do a survey, which we had tabled, but we still need to do that of the parents. Yes, we still need to gather more information before we can make a final decision.
Melissa?
I absolutely asked for a survey for the families a while back, and I couldn't agree more that waiting for the feasibility study would provide us with much needed time to make sure that we hear from everybody and that we get our surveys back. And I just want to make an informed decision. I think I've said it from the beginning, and I continue to stand by that statement. So I would like to hold off on that.
Mike?
Yeah, I have a real issue with how this thing went down, because there were members of this committee who asked for a feasibility study before we gave up Morse Pond. And at that time, it was not necessary. We had no information, we just gave up Morse Pond with one data point. In the summer and the fall, for 4 consecutive meetings, we were told we have to vote grade configuration before MSBA. At every single meeting, finance director would say it would make us in a stronger position. November, December, we started getting emails from parents, 95% or more showed interest in one grade configuration, which was the opposite of administration. About 2/3 of the teachers surveyed say the same grade configuration, the opposite administration. I had asked this to be on the agenda since January. Every agenda I asked, every agenda I was denied. March 13th, I made a motion at the end of the meeting, and it passed, to be discussed at the April 28th meeting. Early in April, the superintendent called people up, said she spoke to the MSBA. None of us had ever spoken to the MSBA. So calling up members saying we couldn't do it, and then I said I still want to do it, and then canceling the April 28th meeting. This entire process, if we wanted a feasibility study, why did everyone fight against it before Morse Pond? Because that was offered meeting after meeting. And why was there a big push in the summer and fall? I think, and I might be wrong, but I think this is just a delay tactic until we get new members on the board who will rubber stamp ideas. And that's wrong. Every single time that Sean guy comes from Mass, he asks each and every one of us, who are you here for? Why did you run for school committee? And everyone says the children. Over 95% of parents want one thing. 2/3 of teachers want one thing. It is the opposite of what the administration has presented. So the question is, who are we really here for? And obviously, we're not going to discuss any further, but that's my only question to everyone here.
Margaret?
You know, I really do believe that every person on this committee really cares about students, really has, believes that they have the students' best interests at heart. However, different people have different points of view, and that makes it difficult. A feasibility study now has been authorized and we paid for, and it would not have been paid for in the very beginning of this process. And so I do think that we need to wait. I think what Kelly said about, we do not want to make a decision and then tell the parents this is what's going to happen and it changes. We need all the information we can get to make a good decision, and I think we need to wait for the feasibility study and to work with it.
Katrina?
Because I had not seen anything about this in writing from the MSBA, I actually called them, spoke to someone named Catherine. I'm forgetting her last name, it's an Italian last name. And she gave me the email. She was very helpful and said, why don't you reach out to Claire Lerner, who's the senior project coordinator. And Claire was very helpful and wrote back to me. So the description she gave is, I can confirm the MSBA has no issue with the district's decision to vote on the proposed grade configuration for the project. As a reminder, regardless of the results of the vote, the district will be required to study the options outlined in the eligibility period board action letter, which we got back in December, as part of the MSBA process. So what I got from both of them was, we can vote now, we can vote later. It really doesn't matter to them. We still have to study the options, but there's no reason why March 1st changed anything. So that was, I think, the confusion for me. Did we miss a deadline and now we can't vote? No, we could if we wanted to. Nothing changed once we entered the eligibility phase, is what they're saying. It's just, now that we're in the eligibility phase, we will go through the feasibility study and have to study the options. So I agree that it makes sense, and I am willing to delay because I want to get our survey from families. And I will trust that we're going to actually untable, it wasn't tabled, it was just delayed, whatever you did to the agenda item, to have a survey, that will come back before us very soon, because I think my concern is that if we say we're not going to vote now and we're going to wait for the feasibility study, we don't really know exactly when that phase is going to be wrapping up, and we don't always understand when we're going to have to take an action on something before we get there. And if we don't do the surveying in time, we might reach a crunch deadline where we have to vote on the grade configuration. And I'm just saying this from my experience being on this committee, that I don't want to have a moment down the line where we're told that we don't have time to survey people. So if we can do that survey ASAP, and then if we want to do another one in September, we can do another one closer to the time and see if the public viewpoint has changed. More data is better. You see it now, you can see it again later and get those 2 data points to compare. So as long as we are all on board with doing the survey, then I'm okay with delaying, because according to the MASC, it does not really matter to them when we do it.
Okay. Yes?
I have a follow-up for whoever the chair might be in the future. Why haven't we had the MSBA person at any meeting? Why can't we talk to them? Why is the information that my colleague Ms. Nevin giving the exact opposite information that we got on those phone calls of April 1st and 2nd? There's a real issue where in the summer and the fall, we were pushing this. People in their evaluation said that we need to make a decision, and anything that's lacking because of our lack of decision is not on administration. And then those same people come here at this meeting and say we should wait. We could have had the survey and this discussion on April 28th. There was no reason to cancel that meeting. I'd asked for MSBA to come and speak to us. No one has done that. So I apologize, but I don't trust anything's going to happen ever again, because Ms. Nevin asked for that survey on March 13th. We don't even have a draft of the survey. We have nothing. So I feel that this is a delay tactic until they get a more favorable board who will just stamp everything that administration wants to do. And that's all I'll say. Thank you, Terry.
Okay. All right, so I guess what we are doing is nothing, right? Because it says in here possibly act, so we're just going to do
Until the
nothing.
meeting up for the next election.
Okay, all right. So moving on to the next item would be to act on surplus world language materials.
In your packet, you have a memo from Dr. Tellier about the materials listed that are surplus, and we're asking that you act on the surplus.
Is there a motion to act on the surplus?
I'll make a motion to act on the surplus.
Second.
Is there any discussion? So we start in the middle with voting.
I just have a question.
Oh.
These books haven't been hanging around since 1972, right? 1939.
Yeah.
There are a handful of copies that we have found as we had gone into a couple of different storage areas, and they were saved because there were some passages or references that were being used that we can also access digitally should we choose to continue using AT. Interesting. Thank you.
Okay, so any other question?
Just amazing to me that there's enough storage closets that every year we have.
The walls of that building are storage. You don't realize it. You think it's a wall, but all
Are the books
around.
from 1965 holding up the building?
Yeah. I guess they're like insulation, you know? No.
You want to have your 1895.
Part of the renovation.
Yeah.
And that's an antique.
Yeah.
It's all that money.
What's going to happen to a old one?
I mean, I guess language doesn't exactly change, right? French is still French.
It was an excellent.
Oh,
that might have been an edit.
Yeah,
problem.
I think that's in 1985.
Okay,
So we're gonna vote, starting with Glenn.
Yes. Thank you.
Lumping, yes.
Lunch, yes. Katrina?
Oh, Nevin, yes.
Susan, yes. Mail, yes.
And Madeira's yes, so it's unanimous.
Thank you.
All right. The next item on the agenda is to act on FEF funding for the 26-27 school year.
So a couple years ago, we worked with FEF to streamline this process. They are actually in their meeting tonight as well. This happens every now and then, so they are, the board of FEF is voting at the same time you are to accept these projects and to accept the overall donation of the projects, or I shouldn't say donate, it's a grant, of $125,930. You can read the thumbnail description of each grant.
Okay. Is there a motion to
Make a
act?
motion.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay. Comments or questions, starting with Katrina this time?
Oh, I love reading through the descriptions of these. They're all so exciting. I wish I was a student right now, studying our railroads through an engineering field. It's really cool, our local railroads. I'm really happy that the Bold program is getting more funding. That's a great one. I hear so many good things about that program. And I was also excited about the school farm kitchenette at the high school. That sounds really cool.
Margaret?
Well, first of all, I'm just grateful for FES for their contribution to us. I'm also very grateful for the ingenuity of the teachers and the projects that they are developing that really help our students to move forward, not just in breadth, but in depth.
I just have one question. How are the grants decided?
Teachers write them.
They write them, okay. That's all.
Liz, any questions?
Just a comment as somebody who's been, I have chaperoned a lot of these trips, and I can't say enough about it, and it really makes me feel good about, donating to VIPS, donating my time, donating across all the things. So I encourage and support all the educators that have written grants for themselves, for the students. I can't say enough about it. We live in a very special place that we have this opportunity.
I second Ms. Souza's comments. These are amazingly innovative teacher grants, and the FEF is so generous. It's incredible. So wonderful work.
Sue?
Thank you to FEF. It's been so many years of granting these different projects, and they are truly helpful to our system.
Chris?
No, just essentially seconding everyone's comments. We're very lucky to be blessed to live in this community where we have such tremendous support from grassroots organizations.
I agree. Definitely a day of a lot of generosity.
Right. Okay, so there was a motion. Okay, so we'll vote. I guess we start with Kelly this time.
Well, just
Lumping yes.
Augusta, yes.
Cohen, yes.
Wolfsky, yes.
Galen, yes.
Susan, yes.
Nevin, yes.
Madeira's yes, so that's unanimous. Okay, so the next item on the agenda, I would like to say this before this item. I'd like to voice that due to a discrepancy in the interpretation of the Massachusetts DESE evaluation process, I motion to send the evaluation back to the evaluation subcommittee to confer with council and then to bring it back. Okay, so that's my motion. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Okay, so,
We can discuss this, correct?
no,
Tabling
No,
isn't discussable.
no, we can't discuss it.
Well, I spoke to Desi today, and what we're doing is wrong. You can't, so, no, I have a real problem with this. A needs improvement on standard one is
Excuse me,
overall.
Mike, please be quiet.
Okay.
Be quiet. Okay, it is not up for discussion, it's going to be reviewed by legal counsel. Okay, so we had a motion and a second. There's no discussion. We start voting in the middle, right?
Cohen, no.
Augusta, yes.
Lumping,
Terry, while he's thinking.
yes.
Terry, is there anything else you can say about what you just said?
No, we are not discussing it, Katrina.
I just don't understand it.
I don't understand either, but I'm just going to put my confidence in the chair that there's something I don't know, and I'll just trust the process, so Welch, yes.
Katrina?
So are we tabling it, or what is it? What is
Yes, we're tabling it. We need,
Well, you're sending it back to committee, right?
correct.
That's different than tabling.
That, yes.
So I'm confused about the motion, because we're not tabling, we are referring it. I have my little card, and I'm trying to figure out what we're doing.
Which, because it's not.
Refer to committee is a subsidiary motion.
Okay, guys, do we really need to hassle through the legal name?
No, I just wanted to make sure we're doing it the right way. She didn't use the word.
The description of it is we need more information.
Okay.
Whether it should be tabled to get more information, whether we should use the term referred to get more information.
Well, it's just different, like, you have a majority vote on a refer to committee, and for tabling, I don't know, I have to look here.
Simple majority.
Right, okay, so as long as it's a majority for both, I just wanted to make sure that we knew what we're
Point
doing.
of information, did we discuss a referral on your little Robert's Rules chart, Secretary?
I don't know.
Because if it was referral, that means it's open for discussion, not just a vote, as according to Robert's Rules. So I think that we should follow Robert's Rules.
Well, I am not going to allow discussion. I think I can do that. There's a reason for the no discussion. So,
Can I ask a point of clarity? We've all submitted our evaluations. Legal counsel can't change anybody's evaluation, right? No.
we are not looking to change anything.
Oh.
We are looking for a legal interpretation, which we don't have ourselves.
Okay, all right.
Okay?
Fine.
We cannot change anything that was submitted by May 1st.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing's
That
going
really
to be
helps me
changed.
to understand what
It's
we're
just,
doing, thank you.
you understand, we want to make sure that we score them correctly.
Okay.
All right?
You're-
Just for the
that-
public, and I'm sorry I'm losing it, but scoring the documents is really difficult in that some of the definitions, such as preponderance, are hard to get around. So we want to be sure that we're doing it clearly, legally, okay? So,
And just, we're going to be voting on this with new members.
Yeah.
How's that?
okay,
Unless we're having another meeting before the election.
either way, it will work, because there will be either 6 or 7 people, which is a majority of the committee that's here now. It can either be done by another meeting or after the elections, it doesn't matter.
Okay, all right, thank you for all that clarification
Okay,
before.
all right.
All right, Nevin, yes.
Okay.
Margaret, yes. Susie, yes.
Halen, because other people commented, I just want to make sure that what I have here, the preponderance is not going to change the overall needs improvement to provision. Because I spoke to Desi today.
Mike, please.
No, it's a big no, and this is wrong.
Okay. Melissa?
Melissa Keith, yes, because I'm trusting the process, because there's more to this that I don't know, and I'm trusting.
Okay. And Madeira says yes. So did somebody count those?
I did. So we have
7 yes and 2 no.
1, 2 no, and 7 yes.
Okay,
Can I ask a clarifying question? If we have our meeting after the election, how will the people who are on the committee now who evaluated have the opportunity to discuss their evaluations in an open meeting, which we are required to do? So we'd have to have another meeting before the election.
Can I respond to that?
Okay,
Can I just?
we don't know for sure, so we'll get a legal answer about that, Glenda.
Okay.
Okay, none of us are attorneys, so we will get an answer for that, okay?
Can I just say that my first year on the committee, the evaluation was not done. When I was new on the committee, we voted for the.
I kind of think that we have done that in the past.
Yeah, we've done that.
We have not always had evaluations before
That's
elections,
right. I just
but I'm
wanted-
going to check into that,
I
okay?
just want to say that. that's
All right, okay. So, with that done, routine business, that would be the minutes. Anybody make a motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 14th, 2026.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, any edits?
Just a quick, are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Okay. Right before routine business, the discussion of superintendent is just a typo, spelled wrong.
Okay. No other edits? Okay, is there a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we just do that?
Anybody second it?
Second.
Okay, I forget where we are to vote. Is it back over this side? Okay, Katrina?
Nevin, yes.
Susie, yes.
Alan, yes.
Yes.
Colin, yes.
Lester, yes.
Lovely, yes.
Welch, yes.
Okay, Madeira's yes. Okay, committee reports. Mike?
I had a table at the Multicultural Fair this past weekend. Henry was there representing. It was a good time. It was at the East Falmouth School. There was some discussion from some Wampanoag folks, and there was dancing, and the gentleman next to me from Venezuela, this is the best part, he had come over and told me how the Irish had gave Venezuela their independence in the 1840s. And I never knew that. It's very interesting. And they have a whole place in Caracas of General O'Leary. So I was talking to Henry earlier, and it was a great event, and I think I would like to see it grow more, and I would like to thank Christina and Amy.
And Bethany.
Bethany Gay, Christina, Amy, and they got them all.
Forget all the names, sorry.
That's it, thank you.
Okay. Any other committee reports? Sue?
I attended the district health and safety meeting yesterday afternoon where we were briefed on the ALICE drills, the fire alarm drills, and updated new safety measures in the central command room for cameras, interlocking doors, camera replacement, as well as there were reports from each of the schools. So if anyone has any questions, either see me or see Dr. Drew.
Okay, right now,
Wait, sorry.
I'm sorry, this.
Mine's quick.
No.
We were invited, once again, to have, information for voter registration at graduation rehearsal, which I've done, I don't know how many years now. We host the breakfast for the seniors that are graduating when they come in for rehearsal, and just make sure that they understand how to register to vote. And it is Thursday, the 4th of June. I think at 8 a.m. in my calendar, but I have a feeling that's not exactly right. So if anybody wants to join, just let me know.
I had joined it last year. I'd be glad to do it again.
Great, thanks.
So I had my first and only, sadly, meeting with CPAC. The emails were going to the wrong email address all year, so I did finally have a Zoom, and I'm forgetting the presenter's name, or her organization on that.
Platt was who was supposed to be,
Right. So there were no attendees, sadly, but I did learn a great deal about CPAC. And as a follow-up, I have talked to parents that I know who have students with 504s and IEPs, and they didn't seem to be getting the CPAC emails. So I should have just told you that, but I would have had to do an email thing. So maybe an issue, I don't know. And then my other committee report is that the student advisory, which was great. I love those kids so much. It's really nice. So I brought in some things that were in Superintendent Dewar's evidence for the year, talking about legislation, and I wanted to hear their thoughts on it and see if they had anything to share. So we talked about the cell phone ban that has been put in place in other places like Rhode Island and is currently in the Senate, I believe, right now. Screen time limits, which is another piece of legislation that's passing through the state, and financial literacy mandates, which is a third piece of legislation with the State House. And we had a really robust, interesting conversation. They felt for cell phone bans, they were very much concerned about negotiating after-school changes of plans and whether not being able to keep abreast of stuff with their parents during the school day would impact their sports and after-school extracurriculars. They had a lot of really good points. They were also wondering how things would be enforced, and
So I was talking about there's a state level, and then each district has its own way of enforcing that and implementing it. Screen time limits, they also did not feel that it was not a popular idea to limit screen time. They worried about enforcement. And then the financial literacy piece, some of the kids had taken those courses explicitly as part of the CTE pathways or business. And there was a freshman in the group who was worried that she had missed something. And then Dr. Dewar came back to the meeting just at the right moment to explain that those are incorporated into their classes. But having it mandated might impact AP students being able to take math classes. So anyway, it was a great conversation, and their thoughts are recorded if anybody wants to hear more about teenagers' views on screen time and cell phones.
Thank you. Okay, so the VIPS committee is this week in reading scholarship applications. It's so much, it's great how much they do with students. Anyway, so that's what's going on VIPS. Next month will be the end of the year volunteer recognition, and I hope some of you they've been asking for input from teachers too, and things. I don't know if you've gotten anything from them. Some of the teachers out there. Okay, the other committee is the Cape Cod Collaborative. Now, when you are appointed to some of the committees, such as VIPS or the Collaborative, it's a year-long commitment. Even though your term is up in May, the commitment ends in June. So I just want to make sure everybody is okay that I fulfill that. Okay, especially since, well, I'm the chairman of the Collaborative Board too, so they have to elect a new chairman and stuff like that. So just to finish up that business, okay, just to make that known. Okay? All right. Any other committee reports? Then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
No, hold that thought.
No, I want to.
Hold that thought, Terry.
I have my gavel. I can overrule you.
Terry, I can talk for a while they're getting their thing if you'd like me to.
Terry, you can hit this with your gavel to close our meeting.
Yeah.
What did you call it again?
I was surprised you didn't know that. Beer decal.
Beer decal.
Beer means beer,
table,
obviously.
right?
And in Germany, how they bill you for your beers, they make X's on those little things. And if you get a full round of X's, that's how much money you have to pay.
So, Terry, this is your last meeting.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, I was gonna reach out to Sharon and ask her when you got on the committee, but then I was like, but your time in this seat really goes before then. And then I thought, well, I could probably, ask you or Timmy when you started working at Falmouth Public Schools, but then I thought, no, you've been a Clipper since forever, and from one to another.
1977 is when I started. There's your answer.
But then she went to Lawrence High School.
Right, you graduated,
that's
from
right.
Lawrence. So I thought to myself, you're just a Clipper through and through, and as somebody who takes such pride in our community, I have learned so much from you, Terry. You have impacted
You're gonna make me cry.
This committee, all the committees that you have sat with at this table. You have impacted students, as we heard from Mr. Kapolka earlier. You've impacted students that weren't even your students, that's me, previously. I know that it's been a bit of a grind this year, however.
You don't say.
However, the good still weighs off the bad. And it's not that it was bad, it's just that, it ebbs and flows. So to say thank you seems so minimal, and it's not enough. But if you could accept the flowers on all of our behalf.
Thank you.
For your time.
We have to read it out.
School committee survivor.
And to you as well, Chris.
flowers for later. We also got you maroon and white tulips for your new place, but not until the dust settles and you can plant them in the fall when you get your berries.
And also from Sharon, Ryan, our administrative team, thank you for all the years that you put into this. And so you started the year the Clipper, and so there is a Clipper gift in there for you, so from one of our students, so.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Say something.
Say something.
You know what? I loved it, and Henry St. Julien is one of the reasons, as one of my best memories, is that I got to go to Cape Verde Islands. And the reason was, what is for students, it was to make connections, you know, and so Margaret and I, and
Sonia's there.
some evaluator, and Sonia, right, trekked over there to try to make these connections with the students, and that's one of the highlights of my time on this committee. The other one was David Vieira asked me to be a representative for the collaboratives, actually, because I was on the collaborative. I've been on the collaboratives for a long time. And I got to go to the State House in Boston every month for an entire year. And I walked in and got guided to the room, and and was with the leading representatives and senators in the education in the state, so it was very interesting. So those are the things I'm remembering, not Mike's comments, for example, but those are
You gotta remember my comments.
Yeah, memorable. Thank you very much.
Okay, Terry.
Okay.
Terry, motion to adjourn?